after the fact. So I want to tell you first that we will not have class next week. So that is February. No, we won't be in February yet. We'll still be in January.
It'll be the 31st.
January the 31st. It'll be the last day of January, but we won't have class because I have to go to a meeting. And so that's just something that I can't help. And I wish I would get to stay in Baxley. I would much rather be in Baxley than have to go to Macon to go to a meeting and sit in a meeting for 2 days. I have to go for Tuesday and Wednesday. So y'all feel sorry for me. No, don't feel sorry for me. But anyway, that we won't have class next week. But we'll pick up the following week, which is the 7th. So February the 7th. And you'll get the full 16 weeks. It just will it will be added to the end. All right. So last week we got through our all of our warm-ups, which we have 6 different major joints: our neck, our shoulders, our spine, our hips, our knees, and our ankles. And so those are the exercises we'll do every time. It takes us a while to get used to learn. And even if you can watch the tutorial videos on the stretches, that can be helpful. Even if you can't, you know, maybe you don't have it in you to practice it, but even if you watch it, and the more you hear it, the more you're reminded of all the little pieces and parts of the movement. So we talk a lot more in the beginning of the classes, just so you get the information that you need, because I want you to do it correctly. I want you to do it safely. I want you to get all the benefits from Tai Chi that you possibly can. And that's the only way to get those, is if you know, let's see, we got Miss Sylvia coming in, is to get the information. So there that is. Miss Sylvia is coming in. So first thing that we want to do always is warm our bodies up. It's really cold here today. When I got it, and we get warmed up by just walking around the room, opening and closing our hands, bending our elbows, just getting our bodies warmed up. I had the heater going. You may hear it pop back on. I turned it back a little bit so it didn't cause any noise, but it's cold outside. Heck, even my car this morning said there may be ice on the roads. So it's cold. I felt sorry for my dog. He had to spend the night outside last night because I didn't have it in me to bathe him, and and I wasn't bringing him in my house. So bless his heart. But anyway, we can't do it all, but we got to get warm, or else it sets ourselves up for injury. The more we warm up our muscles, the better it will be, so that we don't have the injury and we can move a lot better. Maybe we should just go to the beach so that we can be warm at the beach. What y'all think about that? Definitely have class at the beach.
Oh, definitely.
All right. So we're gonna now talk about the our body structure. We want to have, I don't know what's going on with Sylvia. She keeps coming in and out, but I'll keep letting her come in. We want to talk about our body structure. That's one of our principles, where we are upright. So we have that good posture. It's like a string that pulls up and down. Our shoulders are relaxed. And obviously we want to be breathing. But this is our upright, stable stance posture. Our feet are about hip width or shoulder width apart, and our legs are holding our weight. So the first 3 movements that we do, this is our stance. We keep the weight on our legs. All right, so we're going to start with our hands on our sides, starting with our neck. Let's bring those hands up, palms down, towards our chin and chest, push away from our bodies, and then follow those hands all the way down, chin towards our chest. Inhale up, towards our chin and chest, push away, and follow those hands all the way down. Inhale towards and out, and follow those hands all the way down. Our other neck exercise starts out that same way. When we get here, we drop one to our hip and we follow this hand as we look towards that shoulder, feeling a slight stretch in our neck and then coming back to the front. So we're not going as far as we can go. We're just going until we feel that slight stretch and then coming back to the front. Switch hands. You may feel a little creakiness in your neck. I swear I hold more tension in my neck than anywhere. So this is the part when I really let some of that tension go, helping with the flexibility of my neck. So we want good joint mobility so we're able to do things. Next is our shoulders. So let's roll those shoulders forward. And roll them back. Again, small circles. We're just warming up that joint. And it kind of feels like a massage you give yourself when you roll those shoulders back. Now let's bring our hands up and push those hands down. Come up and down. All right, here's Miss Betty. I'm going to write her name down. Do those shoulder circles. This is a great one. I'll say it all the time, like just to relax and breathe. Sometimes we kind of need to recenter ourselves, recenter our mind, and just take a moment to slow down and breathe. Life can be so overwhelming. We can have those stresses that just get to us. And so just taking that time to inhale as we bring those hands up and exhale as we bring those hands down. Really help relax. And we know that's an important movement. Why? Because we do it at the beginning and it's one that we do at the end in our cool down. So of course, that's when you're in a class and your teacher says something enough times, then hey, that's probably going to be on the test. But we're not having a test, but this tells you that's important because we do that move twice in a class. Next is for our spine. So let's take our little ball. And so our hands are facing each other as we hold this ball. We're keeping our shoulders relaxed. So we're not holding tension here. We're holding that ball. Whether it's here or here, wherever you feel most comfortable, as long as you're not holding tension in your shoulders. So this ball right here in front of us, the hand that's on top is going to push down towards the ground. And remember, we keep that soft bend in our elbow. The hand that's on bottom of the ball is going to follow that spine up and then press up towards the ceiling. So we're pressing up and down at the same time, stretching our back. Come back to our ball and switch. Back to our ball and switch. We're just going from side to side. Sometimes you'll hear me call this separating the heavens and the earth. And you can think of it that way, where you're pushing towards the heaven and pushing towards the earth. That's kind of a fun way to talk about that movement. Hey, Miss Betty.
Hey, my apologies. I had trouble getting online.
Well, I think Sylvia was having a hard time too, because she kept coming in and leaving and coming in and leaving, and she hadn't been back. So I don't know what that's all about. Let's see. Sharita, you're coming in on a Claris, and Miss Janice, you're on a computer, right?
I'm on laptop.
On your laptop. So I don't know if it may, I don't know. Y'all, technology, that's all we're gonna say about that. We're not gonna take any stress of technology. We're gonna ball it up and we're just gonna throw it out that door. We're not worrying about it right now. I'll give Miss Sylvia a call. About forgot her name. I'll give Miss Sylvia a call after class. So we have our ball. We've just separated the heavens and the earth. Now we're going to take our ball for a ride. Ma'am? What'd you say? Oh, I thought somebody said something. All right. So do y'all reckon it was Sylvia? Is Sylvia on here? No, she's not, because anyway.
There's no contact number that we can call at the last minute, like when we're having trouble to get on to see if they can invite us on. That's what I did. I called the front desk and there was nobody there, but I left a message, so it would be too late, I'm sure. But
Did you, was it for Alexie?
yes, I
Okay.
don't think I have the direct number to her though.
Okay. Let me write on my form, excuse me, y'all. Who can they contact if they are having trouble getting on? Because I have to report to Alexie the attendance log.
Well, I said about 5 of 10 too. I finally got on. I
Okay.
tried working with it to see if I could get on.
Okay. Well, I'll ask her. I may or may not get an answer, but Miss Janice and Sharita, Betty and Sylvia, they're coming from the SOWEGA Council on Aging. So they may talk about things that y'all don't know what they're talking about because they deal with other people. Y'all deal with me directly because y'all are in the heart of Georgia, Altamaha area. So don't let that confuse you. But I try to take care of everybody, but the SOWEGA people have another layer of people. That probably doesn't make sense. Just ignore it. Just do Tai Chi. All right, so we're going to take our little ball for a ride. We're going to keep our bodies forward. No, we're going to keep our legs forward. We're going to move the top part of our body side to side. What we're not going to do is move our ball and keep our body still. If I were to move my ball, then that would be a shoulder and arm warm-up movement. But the point of this movement is to be a spinal movement. So I actually have to move my spine. So that's why I move the top part of my body. So notice my legs didn't move. My legs stayed facing forward. Only my torso moved. And I didn't move very far. I just moved that ball to where it was just above my knee. Then I'm going to switch my hands and I'm going to move my body until that ball is just above the other knee. So I call it taking the ball for a ride. Okay, so we switch our hands, take that ball for a ride, just moving our torso, switch hands, come back across, switch. Side to side, warming up that spine horizontally. All right, so those are our upper body warm-up movements, our neck, shoulders, and spine. So we didn't have any leg movements. Now moving forward, we're going to start having some leg movements along with arm movements, and we're going to be doing some weight transfer. So this is where that magic happens in helping us with falls prevention, engaging our stabilizer muscles and making them stronger. But I do warn you to listen to your body. And if your body's having a hard time with the balance thing, grab a chair, have it nearby, Have something stable nearby. You can totally skip the hand movements by holding on with your hands and doing the leg portion, or you can do all the movements and just have it nearby in case you need to grab on. Because our point, we don't want you to fall, but we do want you to get stronger in your stabilizer so that you don't fall out in the world. First, our hips. So we're going to shift our weight to one leg. It doesn't matter which. We're going to place our heel forward, and when our heel goes forward, our hands go back. So from the side, it looks like this. Then we're going to pause in the middle, and then we're going to put our toe back, but at an angle, so like it's a kickstand, and our hands come forward while our leg is back. So that's a counterbalance. Our hands are forward when our leg is back, and then our hands are back when our leg is forward. The whole time we keep our body upright. We don't lean forward, backward, side to side with the movement. Anytime we're leaning, that's going towards falling, and that's what we're trying to avoid here. So toe back, hands forward, pause in the middle, heel forward, hands back, just like that. So that one leg right there, it's getting a workout right there, holding our weight. So let's give it a break. Give our weight to the other leg. Heel forward, hands back. Pause. Toe back, hands forward. You may feel that one foot shake a little bit as it finds balance. And there's no problem with that. My leg will shake a little bit. Problem is if you can't find the balance and you fall. So that's why we like having a chair nearby. If you were to completely rely on a chair, this is my invisible chair I'm holding on to. I can do that movement, but still hold on to the chair. And this is what's most important, is that I'm doing that leg movement, not so much of what's going on with my hands. So don't feel like you're missing out on a whole lot if you need to hold on to that chair. Next, we're going to shift our weight from side to side. We have our hands and we stack them kind of like this. And we're going to move our hands in the direction of the weight shift. And we stop about the edge of our bodies. So that's what's called stay within our frame. We're not going to go way over here, because once we start going way over here, you see I'm leaning. I don't want to lean because that is like falling. So I keep my body upright. I shift the weight. I keep those hands in my frame. So I shift the weight to that leg. Now this leg has all my weight. Now I'm going to be super brave. I'm going to pick this foot up and I'm going to tap it out to the side. Bring it back. Shift the weight to that leg and tap. So remember, you can skip this hand movement, hold your chair. Most important thing is we're shifting weight. Shift the weight, tap, switch hands, shift the weight, tap, shift, switch hands, shift, tap, bring it back. There you go. That's our second hip warm up. Next is for our knees. And both of our knee exercises ask us to have a loose fist. Remember, like we're holding an egg that we don't want to break. And when I have my hands here at my hips, you may like yours here more at your waist, as long as you're not holding tension in your shoulders. So here we have our fists. We're going to shift our weight to one leg. We're going to lift this leg. We're going to tap that toe out front as we punch out the opposite hand. Bring that foot back, hand down, shift, lift, tap and punch, bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch, shift, lift, tap and punch. side to side, taking your time with the weight shift. Don't get in a hurry. And that's the challenging piece to that. If we were to do this quicker, it'd probably be a little easier. But it's the slowing down. Now, just a tip, you know we're keeping a soft bend in that knee, but when you do shift a weight, let me go to this side. Maybe y'all can see it. When you shift the weight, you kind of sit in to that leg. You see, I might know how to make you see it. Okay, shift the weight and I bend that knee. So whenever I lift that foot, or no, I'm tapping out, sorry. Then my center of gravity is a little lower, which helps me be more stable. So play around with the bend in your knee and how that helps you feel more stable. So we shift, lift, tap and punch, opposite, shift, lift, tap and punch. There's a punch in our second movement, except we step forward this time. So shift the weight, step heel toe. Now I'm going to put some weight to that front foot as I punch out. I leave my back foot flat on the floor. I shift the weight to that back foot and feet side by side. Shift, step heel toe, shift and punch, bring it back, feet side by side. Shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back, feet side by side. A key here is when you step forward, that's a small step. You see my heel and my toe is about in the same line. When I shift the weight, my knee doesn't go any further than that toe, and that's going to help protect my knee. So don't think you have to do too much. We're not giving all of our weight to that front leg. We're not completely leaning into that leg. We're just giving that weight or that leg a little weight and then bringing it back. And that's all in developing our stabilizer muscles. Shift, step, shift and punch. See that back foot's flat on the floor. If I were to lift it up, it sends my body forward, and that goes against what we're trying to do here. Bring it back, side by side. Shift, step, shift and punch. Bring it back, feet side by side. Shift, step, shift and punch. Bring it back, feet side by side. Those are for our knees. Now for our ankles. We don't have any hand movements here, so I hold mine out in front of me. I'm going to shift the weight. I'm going to heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. All right, bring the foot back, shift the weight, heel, toe. So it's kind of like you're rocking that toe, heel, toe. Bring it back, shift, and now go big toe, little toe. Working on that mobility of our ankle joint. Sometimes we forget about that little ankle down there. But if we can have a mobile ankle, it can help keep us from falling. Shift, and finally, little toe, big toe. Side to side. All right, give yourself a good little shake. So how do y'all feel about our 6 warm-ups?
Good.
Good, feel good. Very good. Well, we'll do those every time. And this time we have a lot more time available. We'll spend less time doing the warm-ups and more on our actual Tai Chi movements. So today we're going to start with our first, well, let me just say this. Tai Chi is a series of movements done in a certain order. And so we're going to learn our first movement. You hear me talk about basic 6. You'll hear me talk about advanced 6. So we'll start with our basic 6 and we learn one movement, and then we'll learn the second movement, and we'll keep building on that. And so we'll practice it and get better and better at it. So that's what Tai Chi is. We do Sun style Tai Chi, because if you were to go on the internet and type in Tai Chi, Lord, the things that you could find. I mean, there are lots of different styles of Tai Chi, lots of different series of movements of Tai Chi. So what we learned here is Dr. Lamb's Tai Chi for falls prevention and for arthritis. That's the series of movements that we do. Because it's Sun style, which you spell S-U-N, like the sun, because it's Sun style Tai Chi, you are more upright. You have that soft bend in your knee, but we have that higher stance. We also do what we call agile stepping, which often has a follow step with our movement. So that helps us be more stable. And that's the whole point, is learning to be more stable. So upright posture, slow, smooth, continuous, weight transfer. Those are just some of our principles that we use in this movement. Now, the first movement that we do, and I'm going to do mirror image. So I'm going to say which leg to shift to. So I have, the movement is shift right, step left, shift left, bring that right foot forward. Okay, so the leg movement of commencement is simply a step forward. So I'm going to show that to you mirror image. When I say mirror image, I'm saying shift right, and I shifted to this leg, which y'all think may be my right if it's a mirror image, but it's really my left leg. So I'm teaching you mirror image. I will also turn around and I will say commencement. We will shift right, step left, shift left, bring that right foot forward. So which way do you think is more helpful to you? The mirror image or the one where I turn around? Or does it matter?
I can do either one, I think, but I prefer when you turn around.
Yeah. I like when people turn around. Sharita and Janice, y'all see today, I'm going to do it both ways, and then y'all give me feedback on what you prefer, because I can teach it either way, and people are different. I don't like mirror image because my brain is weird. It turns you around, and I don't understand why you're moving your left foot and saying it's your right foot. My brain doesn't work like that. So I will tell you that you shift the weight to your right foot. You take a small step with your left. You shift left and bring the right foot forward. Easy peasy, right?
Long as you listen to your voice.
I will not leave y'all. So here we go. We're going to shift right, step left, shift left, bring the right foot forward. The whole time I kept a stable stance. My feet were shoulder width apart. When I shifted the weight, I kept my body upright. When I stepped heel toe, then shifted the weight, then brought that foot forward. So in Tai Chi, we're never trying to be in a hurry. We shift slowly. We step heel toe. Right there, I just stepped with my left foot, but I haven't given it any weight yet. That gives me the opportunity to make sure that I'm in good standing, nothing down there on the ground before I commit weight to that foot. Because let's just say there was something on the floor. Say there was a big Lego or a ball or something that you could trip over or make you lose your footing. If I just step forward and step onto it, then that may cause me to fall. So when we step, we want to step, give a little assessment to where we just placed our foot, and then shift our weight. So that's just sort of a general rule when we're out and about in the world, is when we commit weight to a foot, we want to make sure that it's a nice stable place for that foot to be. Because we don't walk like this in the world where we imagine if you're at the Walmarts, shift weight, step, shift weight, step, shift weight, step, shift weight. Imagine if you were in Walmart walking like that. One, you'd never get done what you were there to get done. And number two, they might think something was wrong with you because that's not how we walk out and about in the world. So what can we do? Well, what we can do is assess what is in front of us when we walk into anywhere. So I look out and go, okay, there's nothing on this floor that I could fall over. I walk into the Walmarts. I look ahead of me. I look on the floor. I look at the people. What's in this environment? Is it safe for me to move forward? There may be something that you don't see on the floor unless you look down. It might not be tall enough for you to see. So assess your environments when you enter an environment. We get kind of complacent when we're at our house because that's where we feel our safest. When you really want to pay attention is if you've had visitors, especially little children visitors, they come with stuff, little things that are on the floor. So, and they tend to drag stuff out that maybe you're not used to being dragged out. So make sure that's a good time to assess your home environment is when you had visitors. I just saw a couple things that are in front of me. This is a roll of paper towels and then Clorox wipes. I can totally see a kid taking this Clorox wipes and making a drum out of it and, you know, just having all kinds of fun. Oh, they had so much fun. And then they got done. They got done playing with it. It's no longer fun anymore. And here you come and you go, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, it can happen so easily to where it's just good to always assess your environment so you don't have anything that you can trip over. It's just stuff we take for granted because we're in our house all the time and there's not normally a thing of Clorox wipes in the floor. So why would we think to look for it? Anyway, side note, that's about home safety and getting to know your environment. When we step and shift our weight, then we know that we're stepping through a safe environment and we're not going to go into the Walmart walking like that. It's just not realistic. But that is a good way to practice building our stabilizer muscles so that we're stronger and more stable. And that's shifting the weight, step, shifting, and then bring the foot forward. That's kind of called, I call it Tai Chi walking. It may be just a Jennifer term though. It's definitely weight shifting. And that's what we do in commencement. We shift right, step left, shift left, and we bring that right foot forward. What do our hands do? All right, well, our hands start out beside us. Our hands are, and remember in Tai Chi, when we put our hands out, we don't lock our joints, right? We keep a soft bend in that elbow. So anytime we're out, this is out, not this. Okay, so that soft bend, even though we're out, soft bend. So our hands are going to start out on our to the sides of our legs. We're going to bring our hands up, palms facing each other. Then we're going to bring them down. Now we're going to bring them towards our hips. Then we're going to bring them up. Now we're going out. And we're going to bring them back in, and our fingers point up towards the ceiling. So here to our sides, we bring our hands up. The whole time our hands face each other. Then down towards our hips, up our bodies, away from us, and then we bring them back and our fingers come pointed up. If you watch a Dr. Lamb video, which I'm not talking against Dr. Lamb videos, don't get me wrong, he's wonderful. He's so wonderful. To me, he's hard to understand because of his accent, but he has lots of wonderful little tidbits in his instructions. So I'll share this one with you. In his video for commencement, he talks about a ball. And so this is almost like we're holding a ball, right? So we come up, we're holding that ball. We come down, we're still holding that ball. We bring that ball in, we bring it up, and then we take it back out, and then we bring it back to us, right? So we're holding a ball that whole time. So that can help you remember that your hands face each other. But what Dr. Lamb says is, oh, look at this beautiful ball. Isn't it just great? Don't you want to play with it? Well, they don't want to play with it. So you bring it back to yourself and you think, I think I'm going to give them one more chance. So you show them that pretty ball again and they still don't want to play with it. So you bring it back. Okay, guess I'll just keep my ball. So that is a way for people to remember how that movement works. So let's practice that. We have our ball. We're going to, oh, show that beautiful ball off. Don't you want to play with my ball? Nope, they don't. One more chance. Look, but it's so pretty. Doesn't it look like fun? Nope, they don't think it looks like fun. So it's your ball to keep until the next move, because then we do open and close and you'll drop your ball. So that's the handwork of commencement. Hands up and down towards our hips, bring it up, take it out, and bring it back in. I always think, golly, that's a lot for just our first movement. And it can be overwhelming thinking, well, if that's our first movement, I don't think I'll ever learn 12. Well, let me give you hope that our second movement looks like this. It's called open and close. And that's it. That's movement 2. So let's learn commencement and then go, oh, at least I can do open and close. I know that one for sure. That's just an open and close of our hands. It's a breath. So let's practice that hand movement again for commencement. We bring them up, down, towards our hips, up, out, and back in. Open and close. How's that?
Nice.
You know we got to put the hands and the feet together. So remember how easy it was to shift right, step left, shift left, right foot forward. That's just a step forward, easy peasy. Our hands up, down, in, up, out, and back. Open and close. Kind of easy peasy. Not difficult, just something that we have to learn and remember. Good for our brains, right? We're challenging ourselves to learn something new. But let's put those together because those feet and those hands go together. there's something that happens as you learn Tai Chi. You start to make a connection between weight shifting and hand movement. And it's going to be a while. You're going to feel awkward for a long time. You may feel awkward for the next 4 months because this is all new stuff here. So and Miss Betty can probably share with you that it does take more time to get feeling more comfortable with your movements. And there's nothing, that's even Dr. Lamb will say it takes about, 3 or 4 months before you and you'll still be feeling awkward. So he wrote the program and he knows that. So don't feel upset if you feel like really awkward, like you have too many hands or too many feet and you can't figure out what to do with them. So but when you can connect the hand movement to the weight shift, you're really going to start experiencing the internal principles of Tai Chi. But be patient with yourself. So let's put them together. We start off with weight on both feet. We bring our hands up with that weight on both feet. It's when we bring our hands down that we shift the weight to the right foot. So let's just practice that one movement. Hands up, down, shift right. Okay, so turned around, it's bring those hands up, down, shift right. So your hands are coming down and your weight is going to that one leg. So there's that down movement of the weight shift. So as the hands come up, weights on both legs. As they come down, you shift the weight to that right leg. And commence up, down, shift. Oops, sorry, I was doing mirror image backwards. I try, y'all. All right, hands come up, down, shift right. That feels good, right? Hands come up, down, shift right. So now we know our next step is to step left. Okay, so I just stepped left. Now I bring my hands in and up. So I went up, down, shift right, step left, brought my hands in and up. Here we go. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right, step left, bring those hands in and up. How's it connecting? Good?
Yeah.
All right. So what do we do now? We know we're going to shift the weight to that left leg. And we know with our hands are going to go out. So here's another connection where our hands go in the direction of the weight shift. So I went step. My hands are up here at my chest. Now I'm going to shift left as those hands go out, giving them another chance to see that ball. So we're back here. I had stepped left. My hands go out as I shift left. I bring the right foot forward and I bring my hands back. All right, so from the top, commence, up, down, shift right, step left, bring those hands in and up, shift left as those hands go out, bring the right foot forward, hands come back. Now let's open and close. All right, let's do it a couple more times. And commence. Up, down, shift right. Step left, bring those hands in and up, Shift left as those hands go out. Bring that right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. But let me pause a second and talk about open and close. Our hands are here, and when I say open and close, it's a breath. And I'm not actually moving my hands. When I inhale, because my lungs fill with air, my hands move. When I exhale, my hands close. And so open and close is an inhale and an exhale. It's one of those freebie moves that makes you feel good. You can do it easily. All right, so that's a little side note on open and close, and that is our second movement. All right, so let's do those over and over. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right, step left, bring those hands in and up, shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. And you see how I put my hands down? That's called closing it out. That means I'm done with that series of movements for now. It's called close it out. All right, let's do it again. And commence. Up, down, shift right, step left, shift, or bring those hands in and up, shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. And again, commence. Up, down, shift right, step left, bring those hands in and up, shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. All right, I'm going to do it another time turned around, or with my back to you. Then I'm going to turn it around and we're going to experience it from the front, for me doing mirror image. And you can tell me which ones you like better, or if it matters. And commence. Up, down, shift right, step left, hands come in and up, shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. So of course, anytime you learn something, doing it in repetition is going to help it stick. So if there's a way you can practice this movement from now until you got 2 weeks. So now, because Miss Betty, I don't think you were on yet whenever I said we won't have class next week because I have a meeting. So it'll be the 7th whenever we have class again. You can get on YouTube and look up, excuse me, commencement, and you can watch that video, or you can just rewatch this one. Whenever I first started Tai Chi, I would lay in bed and I would just close my eyes and I would think about what commencement looks like. That is a way of practicing, is, like I said, closing your eyes, going through those movements in your head, picturing yourself doing commencement and open and close. And so you don't even have to physically do it to learn it. Lots of ways to practice. All right, so here it is from the front. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right, step left, bring those hands in and up, shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Do it again. And commence. Up. Down, shift right. Step left, bring those hands in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. And again, commence. Up. Down, shift right. Step left, in, up. Shift as those hands go forward. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. All right, so you experienced mirror image and me turned around. What's more helpful?
Turned around.
Turned around. I agree. I'm always blown away by the people who can do mirror image. My brain does not accept what you were trying to sell me when you show me mirror image. So I will, I won't say that I'll never turn around and do mirror image for you, because obviously me turned around the whole time, you wouldn't know what the front looked like with my hands. So there will be times when I turn forward, there will be times when I turn to the side, and then I will do more facing backwards. But y'all just make sure that y'all always let me know, always ask questions, so we can make it the best experience for y'all. I want y'all to really learn it. And so I'm willing to make the changes for it to be better for you. But I prefer turning around as a person, as a student, right? As a student, I prefer for my instructor to be turned around. Now, on my computer screen, y'all are about this big. So like you're not under a whole lot of pressure anyway. Like I'm not studying y'all and going, oh, I think your feet are a little too close, or oh, I don't know if I'm not judging you. I'm really not. But when I turn around, y'all know I can't even see you at all. So if you pass out, wake up real quick and tell me that you just passed out, so I know that you passed out. No, I'll turn around enough to notice. But seriously, I just, my whole point is I just want you to communicate with me and what your needs are. Don't ever think that it's a stupid question. Don't think you're bothering me. Don't think you're bothering anybody else in the class. We're all here to learn. We're all here to get better. Okay? Do you have any questions about commencement and open and close?
I'm just so amazed. I'm so uncoordinated and off balance. Oh.
Same thing with me. I'm coordinated.
It's okay. You will feel like that in the beginning. I told you it's like rubbing your belly or patting your head and whatever it is. You just feel all out of sorts. So it's going to take time. So just be patient with yourself and we'll get it. We're going to go over it every time. So don't think that in 2 weeks when we have class that I assume that you have perfected commencement. I will not make that assumption. We'll go over it and then we'll build on it. So it's a learning process. There are some moves that are just more difficult than others. And we all have movements that are I call it a bugbear. I have a friend from Australia and that's a term she uses. But a bugbear is something that's just like, it just irks you. And so and our movements are always different on which movement I find more challenging than other people. So let's do our cool down by giving ourselves a little soft fist massage. This helps break up lactic acid. If you're ever sore, if you ever have sore muscles, which if you're not used to doing a lot of weight transfer, then you're probably going to have some sore muscles that surround your hips. in your knees, like your lower body leg muscles. And so this right here, and what sore muscles are is a buildup of lactic acid. And so we break up lactic acid by doing a little fist massage. So that'll help keep that lactic acid from buildup. The next thing that we do is we gather tension and then we release it. And this just reminds us that so many times we hold tension and we're not aware of it. So we purposely become aware of it to go, no, I don't like that. It feels much better to let it go. So we gather and release. Gather and release. Now let's do a big circle. Remember that shoulder circle that I told y'all was so important? Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's do one more. And then to end class, we make a loose fist with that right hand, and that represents our strength. Our left hand, our fingers are together and straight. That represents our friendship. So strength, friendship, and then our thumb bent in is our humility. Strength, friendship, and humility, we put those together. And in mutual respect, we say namaste. Namaste is a word that means everything about me respects everything about you. And so it doesn't matter if we're different or the same. We can think different, believe different, but we can still be respectful of each other. So namaste. N-A-M-A-S-T-E. That's how you spell it. Namaste. So N-A-M-A-S-T-E. And just as a funny, I have a t-shirt I wear to sleep in, and it says namaste in bed.
Like the add-on.
Namaste. All right, y'all. Well, it's 11 o'clock. Thank you for joining me today. Y'all let me know if you have any questions. You can email me, send me a message over the Claris, call me, send me a smoke signal. I don't know if I'll catch that one, but it's worth a try. All these ways of communicating with each other. But I love y'all, and I'm excited to be in class together, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks for the class.
All right.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.